At the beginning of the 21st century, the Umbrella Corporation had become the largest commercial entity in the United States. 9 out of every 10 homes contain its products. Its political and financial influence is felt everywhere. In public, it is the world's leading supplier of computer technology, medical products, and healthcare. Unknown even to its own employees, its massive profits are generated by military technology, genetic experimentation, and viral weaponry.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
No, wait. In a Scottish accent.
Not scary enough for me.
Oh, gosh. What did I like?
I can use this to spy on my neighbors if their windows are open and it's quiet outside. Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how you can zombify saying the greater good and actually still be intelligible.
Right.
You know, like if you just... Exactly, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll translate. That's the greater good. Okay. Cool. This is episode 359, and I'm very excited. This is so fun. We're talking about Resident Evil. That's right. Resident Evil, the movie based on the video game that spawned like 11 sequels or something. I don't know. It's a lot.
Is it that many?
No, it's not 11, but it's like legit like 6.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
been a few.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that I've seen most of them.
Have you really?
I really have. Okay.
I think okay. Yeah, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. But
who's here tonight?
Oh, well, who is here? Well, Andrew is not here. Andrew is not here. He is doing important life in real life
stuff. Yeah.
So Andrew will not be joining us. So instead we have Sam, missing you already, Vector.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. I do appreciate it, Sean.
Yeah.
So if I was going to kill you,
sure,
like I do every week, and we just watch a movie where lots of people die by lots of different ways.
Very creative ways, too.
Yeah, not too bad. You know, I would probably drag you under a train until you start on fire and very bad CGI, leaves you in the dust.
Okay.
So, just so you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. All right.
Just that. That's it. That's all. Yeah.
Cool. And the bad CGI. And making her Cheapseat Reviews. Wow, my voice cracked on that. That was awkward.
I know. Way to go, 18 years in the past.
Oh my gosh. Making her Cheapseat Reviews debut. It sounds
I don't think that makes it better.
No, it doesn't. It sounds super awkward and fake, like I'm trying to do radio. Making her Cheapseat Reviews debut, V will fake die, say that she's okay, and then turn into a zombie from the Life Paranormal with V.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
That's a great dude.
Hey,
I
welcome to Cheapseat.
I'm so excited, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. So, so this movie, Resident Evil, I do have to tell a little bit of inside baseball here. So as what always happens is that I reach out about a month or more in advance to say, hey, would you like to be on the podcast? And I'm pretty sure, V, I think I asked you like in May or June.
Yeah.
It was
that time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And it was so long ago that Resident Evil was streaming and on, I think, Netflix or something. I don't remember. Mm-hmm. And has now happened, I think, at least twice now. We're about 3 days before recording, and Sam asks the infamous question, hey, where is it streaming? Because I know when you ask that question, that really means, dumbass, it's not streaming. What are we going to do? So because we were already kind of committed and things, we were kind of getting too close. We rented it for this. So if you're listening to this and you're used to being able to watch this on Netflix, I'm sorry.
No, he's not. You're not.
Well, I kind of am.
You enjoy enjoy watching us having to spend money on this thing.
Yeah, go drop $3 on the standard def or $4 on the HD and go and watch the movie.
I watched it on Amazon, so that was cool.
I did too.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So or you might listen to this episode and think maybe I don't want to watch it. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So we're gonna pull up a comfy chair and dive into this movie. So yeah, 2002's Resident Evil. Like I said, it's based on a video game of the same name. And V, I know you had not seen this before, right?
No, believe it or not, it's crazy that I say that because everyone I know has seen it. So, but that I hadn't.
Sure, and you
you
like the horror genre, right?
Yeah, I just when I saw it, I'm like, I want to see the rest of it. So I'm gonna continue with the whole genre soon.
Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: they get better.
Yeah, they do.
Do they really? Okay.
They do get better.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and say it now. So I know I have seen. Gosh. All right, hold on. I gotta look up here how many there are because there are a bunch.
So this is one of those strange circumstances where the movies, usually the first one is amazing and it just goes downhill from there. Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This one is the opposite. Is it kind of like the Furious things where they got a little better as they went along? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at Resident Evil, I might have watched this in the theater in college.
Oh wow!
I don't remember. Sam, did you watch this? I didn't ask you. Sorry. Had you seen this before?
A long time ago. But I tell you what, I don't remember a thing.
Yeah.
So that tells you just how long it's been.
I remembered one thing, and that was the laser hallway scene.
Oh,
yeah.
The only part,
I didn't even,
because that left such an impact when it went all checkerboard. Because that
was creepy.
It seems so terrifying. That seems scarier than zombies to me. Because,
especially with the AI, the AI is kind of going a little crazy, and it's like HAL, and it's trying. You think it's trying to kill you? So sure, absolutely.
You're like stuck in there.
You're stuck, and it's just so inevitable. I mean, he has a moment when he's trying to figure out if he's gonna jump or go low, and then it grids up on him. He just shit. So I've seen this one. I know I've seen Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is the second one. I think I've seen that one like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one after that is Extinction, which is when they go to Vegas and they fight the zombies in Vegas.
Nice.
And
Wait.
then,
Wasn't that just a thing? A Snyder movie?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Army of Darkness or Army of the whatever it's called.
Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead. Thank you. Not Army of Darkness. Definitely a different film. No. So Extinction is there in Vegas, I think. Look at the poster. Yeah, because she's in the desert. And then Afterlife, which I did see. Again, all of these so far I've seen in the theater. I know I watched Afterlife in the theater with a good friend of the show, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Billy.
That's when things got kind of weird, believe it or not. And I know you're thinking like, wait, it can get weird? Yeah, it's a little bit more weird in that one. And then there's one after that, Retribution. Did I see Retribution?
Oh my gosh, how many of these are there?
So
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Retribution, I also saw in the theater.
And is it Jovich every single one?
Yeah, she's the lead. And so the last one came out called Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, and that came out in 2016. And somehow I missed that it even came out. I didn't even know it came out. And it's also, I think they're all directed by the same dude.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So he's got a better eye for it as he went along.
I do think so. So the last one stars still Jovovich. Ali Larder joins them. She's been in it for a little bit, actually. But Ruby Rose joins in that one. Your Batgirl there.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's the only one I haven't seen is the last one.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And then I did see that there's actually going to be a new one coming out.
There is a Netflix series for Resident Evil right now. Because when I searched on Netflix, there was something that popped up.
Yeah, and it's like set in 1998, so it's a prequel. It's like how the it's like the
How
early,
the umbrella.
How they got to where they are, or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where they're going with it. So anyway,
Cool.
I've seen most of them. I will say is that I liked them all for their own what they are, right? You know.
Yeah.
But I think I like this one the least of them. So we'll get into that. Andrew's not here, so I have IMDb up. So I'm just going to go ahead and read it. The intro.
So what is this movie about, Sean?
Thank you. A special. I'll do the voice. A special military.
Wait.
Oh,
in a Scottish accent.
I can't do Scottish accent. Like,
come on, you got to try.
Like Andrew.
Try.
No, Andrew can do a Scottish accent. I could not do a Scottish accent.
I want to hear it go into the Goldilocks and the Three Bears accent that inevitably always.
I can't do it. I'm not even gonna try it. It'll sound so dumb.
Oh man.
A special military unit fights a powerful, out-of-control supercomputer and hundreds of scientists who have mutated into flesh-eating creatures after a laboratory accident. It's not an accident. It was intentional.
No, intentional.
It was an outbreak. It's not an accident. It's IMDb. You failed. Anyway.
Yeah, they usually do.
Yeah, they do. So, Sam, let's go ahead and have you do your 5-word review, and we'll just we'll go there.
Sure. Let me pull it up over here. And I've got 2 of them, like I usually do. And my first one is never really a scary movie.
Yeah.
And the second one kind of explains it in that I just don't care.
Yeah.
Right? This movie is about as soulless as it possibly can get. And the acting is especially, I can't remember who it was, the one that his sister died. He is the worst actor in this entire movie. He's probably the worst actor I've seen in a long time. And every time he was in a scene, it almost made me laugh because he's just so bad. Right?
Eric.
And he was he quote unquote survived at the end, right?
Yeah.
So I just kept expecting, his comeuppance to come, and it never did. So I was disappointed with that. But the funny part about it is I saw this movie a long time ago. I played this video game when it first came out. It was a big old hit when I was in college, I believe, is when Resident Evil started getting big. And I guess if the movie would have been better, I would have remembered it, but I remembered absolutely nothing from this thing. And I thought it was really bad. It wasn't, how could I explain it? This movie had potential, right? It had the zombies. It had the horror aspect of the zombies. It had the horror aspect of the zombies that would come eat you, or not eat you. That they would evolve into other things, right? It had the technical aspects of the computer that wanted to kill everybody.
Oh, sure, the AI.
But
thing,
yet. The AI, but it still came off drab and kind of boring, and pretty much it felt like I had seen it all before. Again, this is an older movie, so maybe I didn't at the time, but I've seen all of this before, and I thought some of the twists and turns of it were just kind of dumb. At one point she jumps on a wall and drop kicks a dog in the face, and it never really explains where her skills come from. I know, eventually she gets her memory back or whatever, but is she a superhero? Is she a super soldier? What the heck? I don't know. She killed all those dogs with headshots, apparently.
Yeah.
With the never-ending bullets.
Well, that gun ran out of bullets, but the other pistol did have the infinite ammo. It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hate to say it, I was a little disappointed in this one.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Like I know
that's my point or my say.
I've seen most of them, so I know why she can drop kick like the Matrix a dog in the face and kill it. and do all her other stuff. But you're right, it's not explained in this movie, but I don't think it's supposed to be.
Okay.
You know, you just know that she's an agent that works for the Umbrella Corporation. Like that's all you know.
Yeah.
So like once she starts kind of remembering her special set of skills, I think we're just okay. She's just a
Killer,
trained agent.
yeah.
And it just, you know, the muscle memory is coming back. There's a little bit more to it than that later on as we find out, but
Yeah, and Rodriguez, this is early Rodriguez, and I thought this was very, very early Rodriguez, where I didn't buy a lot of what she was doing in this. But you know, even one of the guys that got cut by the laser, who had the voice, right? You know, he talks to
such
you
a
like
great
he
voice.
is constantly in a podcast studio as he is talking to you. And it's just that kind of stuff drives me crazy. That takes me out of a movie pretty quick. So that's my take. I didn't really enjoy this one. I'm sorry.
Oh, you do. You don't have to apologize. This is
I'm sorry.
This is definitely not one of those where, because we've had this before, specifically the Mia Jovovich movie where I loved The Fifth Element and Sam watched it and did not like The Fifth Element, and so this is not that, Sam.
No, okay.
You can shit on this movie all you want. I don't care.
Okay.
This is not a guilty pleasure. It is kind of weird that I've seen all but the last one, and now I feel obligated to seek it out and watch it.
See all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I can say that I've done it. So I don't know. V, did you do a 5-word review? I know I told you about it like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. For me, mine would be not scary enough for me.
Yeah. Okay. So you weren't scared either. Okay.
But you know, I'm saying that because, you know, this movie came out when I was like a freshman in high school. So everyone was talking about it. I remember, you know, seeing the preview of, you know, her being in the same room with those zombie dogs. And I know a lot of people were talking about that. Like when it came out, everyone was like, Resident Evil. It was like huge. And then I never got around to see it. You know, I just never got around to seeing it ever all these years. But I think if I would have seen it at that age, I would have, I think, liked it more, because I think over the years I'm so desensitized to all the stuff that I've watched, because I love horror and I love scary movies. So I think because of that, I was like, nah, it wasn't that scary enough for me. I have to agree that, you know, that I wanted to know more about like her past. I found it like I wanted it to get to the point, you know. I was like, show me who she is already. I think the part, you see, what's scary enough for me is the situations that happen in the movie, like when the people got trapped in the elevator. I hate, like, I have that phobia, you know, that it's a huge phobia for me. And then the people who were stuck in the room and the water was just like coming up. Oh, those situations scare me. I was, you know, my heart was racing during those parts.
So a little less of the zombies and a little bit more situational is what you
it
were
was more.
wanting.
It was more situational. Yeah, more scenes like that got me.
I mean, that's my third note is elevator horror always gets me.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Well, and you know, in this type of movie that they're going to show you, right? They're going to show you the head lopping off, and when it drops that first time, you know, I was like, oh, I was prepared for it. I was like, okay, all right, it's coming.
I think the last elevator movie that I saw that I was like, whoa, was Devil. They all get trapped in the elevator with the devil. That was crazy.
Oh, I've not seen that, but
yeah. I tell you, I watch really crazy movies.
Well, and I fully admit one of the reasons why I even suggested this movie is because Sam and I are, how can I put this, wusses when it comes to the horror genre.
Wusses,
whatever the plural.
Yeah,
of
we
wuss
have
is.
to force ourselves every October to watch at least 4 horror movies during a year.
So what?
Right?
So what usually happens, in fairness, this is what usually happens. We'll start around August and September. So actually right around now, we'll start seeing what's streaming, and then we'll pick a legitimately scary one, and then we'll pick something that's like this, like fake dumb scary, and then
Yeah.
we'll have two other ones that are kind of somewhere in the middle. And you know, so like 1 year, like we did The Exorcist, and
Yeah.
Oh,
that movie
yeah.
legit kind of like freaked me out a little bit. And
Yeah.
I think last year the one movie that kind of got me a little bit was Train to Busan. Like that one was a little.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The Conjuring. The Conjuring was another one that.
Oh my
freaked me
god,
out.
dude! The
I
Conjuring.
love.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Conjuring.
But it was a good horror though. Like I,
Yeah.
I was happily surprised by how much I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I love it too. I love The Conjuring. I think also, you know, when you mentioned The Exorcist, I still haven't seen that movie. You know, it's just, I think it's too much for me, and I think it's just because of my own experiences that I just can't watch it.
Sure.
Especially she's a young girl and she's, you know, going through that. It's horrible for me. But yeah, I love the Conjuring movies. Those are my thing. Yeah.
And specifically also about The Exorcist is also the fact that the poor actress went through hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't she break her back?
She didn't break it, but she's had more back surgeries than
Yeah,
I don't know, a lot of
problems.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's had some issues. So
Yeah.
anyway, and I think I know I'm kind of teasing it 2 months out, but I think I mentioned V, I wanted to have you back in October for a legit horror film.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I will do it in a heartbeat. Yeah.
I think it'll be good. I
Awesome.
think it'll also help the three of us to
Yeah.
watch a horror movie with someone else. You know, I mean, you know, like your
Are
proverbial.
you sure you want to watch a scary movie with me? I tend to. I'll probably scare you.
Yeah, hold our hands through it, V, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we'll need a little handhold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys think of like watching one of those movies from like Netflix, like Blind Manor? Have you heard of that?
Oh, I love Bly Manor.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
TV show, though, or the.
It's more of like it's kind of like a series, but it's different.
Yeah.
Like the first one was the
Haunting of Hill House.
Hill House. Yep, Hill House,
Yeah.
and then this
Now,
is
I
Blind-
will say my wife and I watched that, and we really enjoyed it. We really, especially the first one, is all story driven. It's not just cheap scares.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's just so well done.
It's well
so well
written. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I'm trying to think like, yeah, as we get closer, we'll pick a legit scary one. And just to kind of give you an example. So like last year, we did Gerald's Game was our first one. Stephen,
Oh
Yep.
yes.
Stephen King.
yeah, Stephen King,
Yeah.
and like a good Stephen King movie. They don't
Yeah.
happen very often. And then We Summoned the Darkness, which was terrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's
Oh,
it's real bad. And then we did Midsommar or Midsummer, however you want to pronounce it.
Oh yeah.
holy cow!
That movie gave me bad dreams, like legit.
Yeah, I still have nightmares from the opening scenes in that
Really?
movie.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Holy
yeah.
crap!
I liked that movie. It was crazy. It kind of reminded me of the Wicker Man. I don't know if you
Yep,
guys ever.
yep. I think
Yeah.
it was trying to get those vibes,
Yeah.
especially. Yeah,
and it's so weird seeing Florence Pugh show up in
Marvel.
Marvel now, and I'm like, I'm
Yes.
sitting there watching her kick butt, and I'm like, you let your boyfriend die in that fire, you jerk.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler.
Grief.
Yeah, sorry.
Spoiler.
Go back and listen to that episode. And then we did Train to Busan, right? Really, really good. Like that might be my favorite zombie movie I've ever seen. It was so good and emotional.
It wasn't an English language movie. I'm proud of you, Sean.
And I was crying at the end of the movie. Oh my gosh, I was crying.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, we did Velvet Buzzsaw, which was terrible.
Horrible.
Oh yeah.
And then we did The Conjuring. And then
Yes, so good.
Life After Beth, also terrible. And then A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
Another good one.
so
Yeah.
good. So again, we get some good stuff in there.
Ones, yeah, those are good.
Yeah. 2018 we did so we did Mother, which is the Jennifer Lawrence thing. We thought it was a horror film. It's not really, but it has
It's-
horror elements. The IMDb or Netflix had it categorized as horror. That's why we picked it, and none of us knew what the hell it was. So,
Yeah.
and then we did Doom, which is our dumb movie, and then we did The Witch, with
that is a good.
With Queen's Gambit girl.
Yeah, Queen's Gambit girl with the weird eyes.
Mhm.
And then we did The Shining as our kind of our big film, and
favorite. Yeah. Mhm.
and I fully admitted when we watched it, I didn't like The Shining. I was bored. I was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
You need to,
and
I still want you to go watch Room.
I need to do it. You're right. I do need to watch it.
It'll make you appreciate the movie even more.
I don't hate
Which one?
Once you read into the lore of it, and it's on Netflix. It's a documentary, Room 237 or something like that, and it's
okay.
it's other directors talking about it, and some of the stuff that was happening on set, some of the different reasons why. Not Travolta. What was the director's name? Kubrick did the things he did. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
anyway, you can tell we really love this movie.
Yeah.
Because we are certainly talking about this a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes.
That's it.
Yeah. We'd rather talk about other horror movies that we've done. So my 5-word review was zombie movie, but with monsters. And I mean,
I understand what you mean by that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with Sam. Saw it before, but I forgot a lot about it. I forgot that the movie starts off with a heist, and then a lockdown thing, and then I start asking all the questions that don't make sense. Like I understand that the director is trying to world build, and I know that he knows he's gonna make more of these. That was the plan, right? The ending very much says I'm gonna make at least one more of these movies.
Yeah, building you up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I understand that the contagion has to escape the hive, but I never quite understood the reasoning. So the queen, the Red Queen, the AI controlling everything goes into homicidal shutdown mode, and the raccoon Umbrella sees that and knows that, and so they send in a team of military dudes, or I guess they're special forces that they own, down there to figure out why. But it kind of feels like they should know why.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Do they not have the ability to view the information that she can see? That doesn't make sense that it would be a closed system.
Yeah.
So they should know why they're doing it. And then if their objective was to quote unquote kill her, right? When they flip the breaker off, they do like they I call it the Jurassic Park
Which
trope.
time?
Well, the first time when they reboot her, I call it the Jurassic Park trope because they reboot the system, but by doing this, by rebooting it, they release the raptors, right? So, but they were told to do that. Somebody told them to go down there and reboot the system, knowing that there are things down there that need to not be released. Like it did it like it. I don't understand what the end game was if it wasn't ultimately to see how people would react in this scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, I don't know. Maybe that was the point, and maybe I've forgotten that maybe that's explained in the second movie. I just forgot. But anyway, I don't know. Anyway, that was one of my big notes. One of my other notes was I call it the. We talk about tropes a lot on this podcast. You know, trope being this, a thing that a director or a writer will use in Hollywood over and over and over again. Not all tropes are bad. They just, they're tropes. Horror tropes, when you should run outside, you run upstairs, or things like that, right?
Yeah.
So, so Sam, I was channeling you. The other one I call the Nedry trope. The guy who steals the thing, but then causes like total chaos as a result of the thing. And then not only that, but because he stole the thing, it leads to his death. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
we're going to call that the Nedry trope. I like that one.
So have you guys given your 5 words?
Yeah, I did. Right? Yeah, zombie
Did he?
movie but with monsters.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, my brain is turned off.
No, you're fine. And
Sorry, I'm used to this movie, and the interesting thing, it's almost pertinent nowadays, in terms of watching this movie because I wonder, you start wondering, in the age of COVID,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Did the umbrella company have COVID in an underground hive, and and somehow it got released, out into the real world?
Yeah.
Is this what really happened? So.
Yeah, it makes you think if this stuff actually happens or is happening. Because I think what I got from the movie is like it started off as them like experimenting, but it kind of like it seems like it obviously mutated because people are zombies. But yeah, it has that same yeah. My husband thinks that the zombie apocalypse will come. He's one of those, but
Nice, good for him.
One of those.
He's one of those. Yeah.
That's great. Has he done this? Has he done the zombie boot camp? Because I think there's one down near where you live.
Yeah, no, he hasn't, but I think there is one where we live. Yeah.
I think there is. I think it'd be kind of fun, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny. I will say this. I am going to give this movie a couple of props for doing some things that I liked. One of the things that I really liked was when we're getting exposition by talking voice man, and the camera he's showing us like a monitor, and so the camera is showing the hive in this very late 90s vector graphic CGI kind of thing, and but the way he's talking and the way the camera is showing, and it's like, we are here and we need to get to here, it reminded me of a video game.
Which it's supposed to, right?
Which it's supposed to. Like, it really had these moments where I'm like, yeah, this is based on a game. And so when we would have these moments where we need to refresh and remind people where the actors or the characters are, we would zoom back out to the thing, and then you see the little red dots running to the place. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of liked that. I actually kind of liked that part.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys liked? Because I'm about to shit on it for just a second.
Oh gosh, what did I like? No. Even the set design was kind of boring. I thought it was going to be interesting because they start out in this exuberant house and then go down underneath it, and I thought it was going to be. It felt like there was some missed opportunities. Let's just say that. With set design and those types of things.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking here. I don't know how much the budget was for this.
Yeah. The dogs looked amazing.
The dogs looked good.
The dogs looked gross and nasty and exactly what I would expect from Resident Evil. The zombies look like zombies. You've seen them before. I can't remember the name of the long tongue thing, but that looked bad.
Yeah.
That looked just really bad.
Yeah, so this movie had a budget of $33 million, but it made $100 million worldwide. So not a lot, but it made enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it made somebody happy with that.
But $33 million budget, I mean, it's not a lot, but so it kind of explains a little bit of the bad CGI, I think. Like you say, like,
well, I could give them the schematics of where they are. I can't give them the running over of tongue monster and some of the tongue monster things in it.
Yeah. No, it looked bad. I'm not arguing it. It looked bad. I'm just going to give him a pass because, I mean, yes, we're post The Matrix. But The Matrix was $100 million movie, and this was, and The Matrix was, obviously groundbreaking, and I think it was like Warner Brothers or New Line Cinema. This was Screen Gems, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's just be real.
The
third, to give you a kind of comparison, the third movie, which is the desert movie, is only a $45 million budget, but it made $147 million.
Well, and maybe I'm expecting too much with horror, but you got to think, think of the movie It, or not It, The Thing, and some of these low budget amazing, horror movies that you can do horror for cheap.
Oh
You
yeah.
can make it look
Yeah.
interesting. And I just think, I don't know if it was a shortcut they took with the CGI, but I just don't, I didn't like the what they did with it.
I
just didn't like it.
Yeah, to your point, and V, I know you I'll let you go here in just a second, but
No,
to your point, Sam, those other movies that you mentioned, especially The Thing is not based on, it's based on a book, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not based on a visual medium. So
Yeah.
I think like they felt obligated to put the weird tongue monster thingy in. We got to find a better name for it than that. But you know what I'm saying? People that played the game that are listening to this know what the hell that thing is called. Obviously, the three of us have not played it.
But at the time, the original Resident Evil game, the graphics looked much worse than what we saw in this movie.
Well, yeah, that's PlayStation 2 era.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I mean, I think that I think it's fine. Yes, it's bad in today's standards. You know, I mean, we watch one of our favorite movies is a movie with a talking raccoon that looks like a real raccoon is talking, right? So
Yeah, true.
this thing looks terrible compared to it. And the reason why the dogs look great because they're real dogs.
Yeah.
Like those are real. They just put stuff all over them. So
Yeah.
Puppy.
V, did you have anything that you actually liked about it?
I think like those thematic elements of like the movie where it's like very suspenseful, like I was talking about those scenes, but I think also I appreciated the scene when she was like kicking those zombie dog butt, that zombie dog butt scene that I was talking about before. That was cool. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. I understood like the premise, like, okay, there's this, the government is doing things behind our back and they're making all these secret, weapons and they're experimenting. And it's kind of like a lot of the typical, stuff that, I think we're going to mention movies, right? They're zombie movies. So I'm not going to ruin it.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. But no, I think that I was like, oh, okay, I've heard this before. But I can see why at the time, back in 2002, it was like really big. I know that my husband really liked it when he watched it in the theater too. So I think that's just how it was. It was like a lot of the hype about the movie, then everybody was seeing it. And I think at that time, everyone was like, this is so cool, So, but I have to agree, like you can do, a really good movie on a budget, look at Halloween and the original Halloween back in the 70s. They had like, I don't know how much, it was not a very big, budget that they had, and they made millions off of it. Sure. It was amazing. It's one of my favorite movies. I love Halloween.
And one of the big reasons, Spielberg taught us a giant lesson on how to make a horror movie, where less is more, where what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. I think a lot of horror movies don't try that or don't do that. And sometimes it's scarier to not know. And this one again, just it didn't have the creativity that something like that could offer. The only jump scares are zombies that you didn't know were there. On the other side of the door, or jumping through a crate. Which, by the way, that's how the video game works as well, right?
Yeah.
So. I don't know. It's just missed opportunities.
I think
which apparently they did very well they took advantage of it in later movies that I haven't seen.
I think the other movies figured out what the hell they are. And I think maybe we're misidentifying this movie as a horror movie and not an action horror movie.
Okay.
I don't think this movie is supposed to scare us like The Conjuring, like Halloween, like those types of movies, like The Exorcist. I think this movie is supposed to. I think probably the video game itself is probably scarier than the movie, certainly. But I don't think that the movie is trying to scare us like so many of those other movies did, because, and I also think that. I agree 100% that it's scarier to not know what's behind the door than to hear it or see it. But I also think that like this movie can't quite do what. So Train to Busan, what makes it terrifying is the incredible numbers You know,
Mhm.
like the fact that you're stuck
Yeah.
on a train with 300 zombies in that car with you. You know, like
Mhm.
that's what makes it scary. So there was a couple of moments, they weren't scary, but I was feeling the claustrophobia, like when they're in the sewer and they're being pushed by the grate and all that stuff. Like that was kind of effective.
Mhm.
But then the movie dropped the ball because what happens is, and this movie does this. This is where I was going to shit on it just in a minute ago, is that
Mhm.
the movie does this not like one time, but like 7 times, where it felt like the director Paul W.S. Anderson didn't know how to get them out of a situation. So we just cut to black, show you the hive, and then we're back. So like specifically in the sewer, like they're in the sewer, the guys
Yes. Right.
like they're pushing on the crate, they're up on the big pipes, and things are all about to boom. We cut and they're all up there. And I thought, how did
Yeah.
Rodriguez get up there? Like we didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't see any
Yep.
of that. And I thought, how did
Mhm.
she get up there? And then like Alice and the other dude are nowhere near everybody else. And then all of a sudden, instantly, and the door, like, we can't go out those doors. There's zombies everywhere. And then they just run into the door. Like they're like, where did the zombies go?
Yeah.
And then they're just
Yeah.
there's a couple of moments like that, which I kind of can't forgive the director on. I think that's kind of lazy a little bit personally.
Mhm.
Anyway, that kind of stuff annoyed me a lot. I did forget also that the Punisher was in this movie, so there's that. I mentioned that. The one thing I also felt like the trope was missing, but I think we needed was what I call. Have you both seen Aliens, the second Alien movie?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The
Yeah.
James Cameron one. Yeah.
So Paul Reiser in that movie, you know, he's the guy that he wants to get the aliens so he can make a lot of money, whatever.
Mhm.
Like this movie has that, but it's off camera. It's just the Umbrella Corporation. I kind of felt like we needed that guy with them. I don't know, for some reason it just felt like, I don't know, just it never made sense to me why they went down there and did all the things that they did, unless somebody wanted them to get infected and to escape so that they could see what happened. Anyway, it felt like,
I get it.
yeah,
No,
we needed that guy, and I think we get that guy in the second movie. Again, I can't remember.
I have to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it at some point. I might just rewatch them all if I have time, because I have so much time to just watch movies. The laser hallway was the only part of the movie I remember. I mentioned that. I said I knew one of my notes. I knew this movie was a survival movie. You know, where you get picked off one
Yeah.
at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But having the building kill 3 people before the zombies even get there seems kind of mean. You know,
Well, at least it was somewhat unexpected, right?
Yeah.
it was, but just kill the lady. You know, like, or
Yeah.
just kill the other guy that didn't have any lines. I don't think that dude
exactly.
what got cut in half. I don't think he had a speaking line in the movie. Like,
What would you like? You know, some amputees to run around with the zombies later on down the road?
I'm okay with the building cutting the dude in half. What I want
Yeah.
is like, well, one, I wanted the captain, the black man captain dude with the cool voice. I wanted him to live a little bit longer because I just wanted to hear him say stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee, that took me out of the movie every time he said something.
I liked
Really?
his voice. I liked his voice a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. No, I wanted more of him. I don't know. I liked the idea of the guy in charge, and I would have liked it better if he would have been able to like make the sacrifice play.
Like at the end. Mm-hmm.
For the team, you know, as because no one does that in this movie. We don't really get that.
Yeah.
And that trope is used a lot, and I was surprised we didn't get that. They tried, but it never happened.
I was just surprised at how many times Michelle Rodriguez could have died, but she didn't.
But then she was supposedly saved by the antidote, and
then
still
And then
dies.
not. Yeah. She still
Yeah.
takes one to the noggin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh my gosh, this music is really loud. God, the soundtrack was so loud.
It's so bad.
I hated
just
it.
felt like it was a rave.
I hated
Yeah,
it
it
so
just
much.
does not. It didn't fit in my mind.
Yeah.
So again, we're just a couple years past The Matrix, which had a lot of that kind of music.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
No, I was about to say that. Like back then, early 2000s, that kind of, it just had that vibe for me. It like totally fit in. That's what I was saying. If I would have watched this earlier, I would have, probably enjoyed it. It would have, I would have related to it. So.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. It works in the Matrix because what you are seeing in the Matrix is worth the beats, worth the rock. There was nothing that made this rock out, right? It was just visually not there.
But I think the big difference between, and again, apples to oranges in this case, but like I think the other thing is that score has moments of intense but not loud. Like I can hear in my head the start of the score to The Matrix when you first hear her on the phone, and then like the camera goes into the phone line, and then we get into there's a lot of these kind of just like strings and horns just building tension. And then because the only time we really get the loud music is like when they're going in and out of the Matrix, and when he goes to the club to find the white rabbit and whatever. It's not all of the time. Whereas this one, it was like anytime there was a zombie on screen, it was just my head was hurting. And it's I don't know. It's just, it was really bad. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. I thought it was, I don't remember any of the other movies having it. Of course, I don't remember it having it in this movie, but it was really loud.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this. Normally I watch this downstairs on my big TV, with my sound system. I would have, woken the neighbors. I watched this on my computer with headphones on, and I was constantly like up and down on my volume controls. It's like, oh, zombie attack down. Oh, Rodriguez is going to say something gross up. Okay, here we go. I did write she is the fifth element when she did the little kick thing to the dog. Weird to think that there's a sewer system in an underground building. It's just a strange thing to think about.
Well, one thing I did notice in this movie, it took them a long time to realize you got to aim for the head.
Yeah.
All right. Are they living in a world where there's no such thing as zombies? And you don't know what a zombie is or how to off a zombie? Because believe me, if I've got a gun and something like that is coming towards me, and I shoot it a few times, and it's still coming towards me like it wasn't even hit, I'm aiming for the head. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? It's just, especially since they were quote unquote trained, right? They were an assault force. You think they would, know a little bit better.
Yeah, they were bad.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
they're bad at the job.
Yeah, especially at the first big attack when they're just spraying and praying bullets everywhere and like blowing stuff up. I thought, like it reminded me of that shot in Predator when they're all just shooting into the woods. It seems so inefficient. It's just like, come on, guys,
save your bullets, guys.
You have a finite amount of ammo. But unless it's that silver pistol, in which case all of the bullets. Okay. So, V, you don't know this about me. You don't really know anything about me, but I know enough about guns to know enough about guns. And, I've shot some, and Sam's shot, guns before too. And, we live in the South, we can't walk somewhere without tripping over a gun somewhere. But I get annoyed when I see guns in movies and they're treated so poorly. So like the technician nerd guy, he had like a 6-shooter revolver, but like that thing was I can kind of forgive like when you have a big machine gun that shoots a lot of bullets, like you can kind of forgive that. This thing is 6 shots, and that guy was constantly shooting until the plot needed him to have 1 bullet.
One.
Yeah.
Drove me crazy.
Oh, and also I took one note in this movie, then I kind of gave up because it was just so bad. And it was they all have bad trigger habits. For a military style trained assault group, they all have their fingers on the trigger as they're running around.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I hate in movies that they do this in these kind of movies is when so they're already like in the danger place, right? So that means that your gun would be at the ready. Safety off, at the ready, whatever. And then the boss man goes, go secure the entrance or whatever. And she's like, okay. And then, chambers around. I'm like, there was no reason to do that other than to make you seem cool.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to do that. Even Jovovich does it at the very last shot when she racks that shotgun. A shell should have ejected.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's in a police car, that means it's ready to use. You know what I'm saying? Some cop's not going to have to take it out and then rack it before he needs to use it. It's going to be ready to go. Unless there's a cop listening and says, oh, no. We always put it in and have to rack. Anyway. Just dumb stuff. Again, if you hate our gun conversation, I apologize.
No way. I'm agreeing. I agree. I'm shaking my head like you guys can. I'm nodding. Like you guys can see me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see. The last note that I took was, and again, Sam's going to roll out. So V, again, another thing you don't know about me. I worked in the film industry for a little while, and so if you're listening to this. As a normal Cheapseat Review listener, you know this. But if you're listening because of V, I worked in the film industry for a while, and I was a sound guy. I was a boom operator. And he's a boom operator. I don't know why that just popped in my head. I had to do it. Sorry. Sam, did I lose you? Because there's no way I just did that and you didn't giggle.
I'm sorry. I was dealing with the dog. I missed it. What did you say?
I'm not going to do it again. It's the funniest thing I've ever said on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, don't forget my job is to ruin it. So
no, that's fine.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. So I was a boom operator. That means I held the microphone up over the head of the actors.
Over the horse.
Over the horse. Well, under the horse, but over the actors.
Yeah.
Again, weird inside joke. So
yeah.
So anyway, so I'm always aware of those types of things in movies when I'll see a boom shadow and go, oh, there's a boom shadow. Come on, guys, or you'll see somebody doing a stunt and I'm like, oh, there's the mic pack on their back. You can see that kind of stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So the scene when the Punisher man, I forgot his real name, the character name, but her fake husband, when it shows him spying on her, having a conversation with the other lady out in the woods, it shows him holding a microphone. Well, all that is just a boom mic that the sound guy on set would have had. And in fact, the thing he's physically holding is it's like the harness or the handle for a boom mic. And the only thing they did was they took off. It's called the Zeppelin. It's like the protective case that goes over the microphone to protect it against wind noise. That's all they did. They gave him a pair of headphones and a boom mic and aimed it out a window. And because we don't know what that is, then he can hear a conversation that's 100 feet away, which I guess could kind of work if there was zero noise elsewhere and they were kind of loud, then that would work. But they're in the woods and it's windy and anyway, I see that thing and I just kind of roll my eyes like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like the props department didn't have one of those like parabolic, like a little plastic, like you see at a football game or something.
Yeah.
The guy on the sideline. Because usually you have a spy movie, usually you have like that little plastic thing. Give me something that looks kind of weird and futuristic. But I guess to maybe people that don't know that does look weird and whatever. But I'm like, that's just what the sound guy had. So it just felt like the director goes, oh, we need him to be listening in. Props. Do we have anything? No. We spend all of our budget on the meat and stuff to cover the dogs. No. Okay. Hey, sound guy, you got an extra, shotgun mic? Yes, I do. Here you go. Sorry. In fact, only the two of you can see this because I'm on camera. But I have one right here. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah.
I got one right.
Laser
here.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a laser.
I can use this to spy on my neighbors if their windows are open and it's quiet outside.
Get one of those radar guns, like or radar speakers, like the NFL uses on the sidelines.
Yes, like I said a couple minutes ago. You dealing with your dog again? This is great. Oh, no worries at all. That's all the notes I have. Anything else you guys want to talk about before I do clips?
No, this is not painful.
No.
But
Yeah.
Again, I am tempted if the rest of them were streaming anywhere. I don't know. I'm tempted to do more of them in the series just so you can see, Sam, that they get better. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like I'm not saying like I feel beholden to these movies. I kind of feel that this is your only experience with the franchise that is kind of neat. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. You know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I think that's a better word, fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's some clips I have, right? I don't have anything else to make sure I don't have any. No. No, that's it. Sorry. Here we go. Clips.
Blow me.
I just like the way she said that. Cracked me up. Blow me. There you go. That was loud. I didn't realize that the helicopter was so loud in that clip.
Blow me.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Sam hated it, but I loved it. Here we go.
You and I have the same employer. We all work for the Umbrella Corporation. The mansion above us is an emergency entrance to the hive.
I could listen to that guy read the phone book. How do you not love that, Sam?
No, it just doesn't fit. I'm sorry. It's yes, he could have read a phone book to us, but as an assault officer, I
don't know. It fits for me. The lead guy has to have the big scary voice. I don't know. I want him to record an intro for our podcast is what I want. You know what I'm saying? Is he on Cameo? Let's see if he's on Cameo.
You and I have the same employer.
Yeah, see? Actually, hey, Sam, you and I both work for the state. Therefore...
You and I have the same employer.
See? You know. both state employees.
Okay, sure.
I never thought I could make a joke out of that line, but here we go.
Yeah.
So, and
wait, what is his name? I'm looking him up on Cameo now.
Oh, the actor's name is
the actor's name.
Yeah, give me a second. Was he Clarence? Yeah. So James Jaymes Butler, Butler. I guess you didn't need to spell Butler, but
Butler. Unfortunately, he is not on Cameo.
He is known for.
We need to get him on. Send him an email or send him a letter. Yeah. Tell him we need him for voiceover.
He's known for Snowden as drill sergeant, and this movie, and something called Big Game, and Southland. Yeah, he was in an episode of NCIS, and he was uncredited in San Andreas. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a career. He's had a career. Good for him. Oh, he was in an episode of Glee. So there you go. He's done a bunch of stuff. It's just all this little, stuff. I mean, this is probably one of his, I don't know, Night of the Living Dorks. He was Haitian Zombie. So another zombie movie. Good for him. Oh, there was another movie.
He's typecast.
There was another movie where he was a major. His name is Major Moore. You know, oh, and then in iCarly, he was Lieutenant Miller. And in the TV movie, the TV movie something, he was. I just lost it. Where'd it go? General Clark in another thing. So Master Sergeant Jackson, FBI agent. I mean, he knows that like he major star in something called SOCO 5113. Whatever that is. So anyway, and he's getting 3. He's in something called The Black Knight coming up. Anyway, all I'm saying is that his voice is cool. All right, so This one is labeled Need to Feed.
You and I have the same.
That's not it. This is Need to Feed.
They are driven by the basest of impulses, the most basic of needs.
Which is?
The need to feed.
Need to feed.
That's my wife tells me. I just satisfy the basic need, just the need to feed.
If I would have had more time and been more clever, I would have supercut that with Top Gun.
I have the need.
They are driven by the basest of impulses, the most basic of needs.
Which is?
And then have that cut into, I have the need for speed. I would have cut it into there. That would have been great. You gotta. This is what my wife says to me every night at dinner time.
You're gonna have to work for your meal!
That's tough. It's tough.
Nice.
And I captured this just because it kind of annoyed me the way she said this. Said the word.
Why didn't you tell us about the antivirus?
Do we say antivirus? I always thought it was
Vaccine or
no. She called it
antidote.
Was it antidote? Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I thought she said antidote or antivirus. Antivirus. That's what I'm looking for. Like we shorten it like antivirus as to one word, but she's saying it as two words.
Why didn't you tell us about the antivirus?
I don't know. Just for some reason, it annoyed me when she said antivirus. Like, no, antivirus. Anyway, time for this.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
Trivia. There is a lot of trivia on this movie. My God.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. I mean, yes, there's a lot. So I didn't read all of it. So if there's something way more interesting than what I'm about to read, by all means. Yes, there's 96 entries under trivia. Mm-hmm. I read about 20. So 96. So I did write this, or I did capture this one. The makeup department and crew had a hard time dealing with the dogs who kept licking the zombie makeup and blood and meat off themselves. I like that.
This is a problem. It's a stupid blanking problem.
It's a stupid problem.
But it's a problem.
Can we not make the food, not the stuff taste so
the meat
good?
taste good?
Yeah. So, Mila Jovovich did all of her own stunts except one of those stunts on the pipes, but she did all of her own stunts. And so
That's awesome. Yeah.
it is kind of cool. I kind of like it, when Tom Cruise does a lot of his own stunts and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of neat, and I think it kind of helps to the realism of the story. The whole wall climb, kick the dog thing. She had to train and practice on that for a couple months she actually did it. There wasn't wire work involved. Like, she did that, which is cool. But this is a weird piece of trivia. All of the minor cuts and bruises on Mila Jovovich's character are real. No makeup was applied. Like, is she getting, like, she falling down on set? I don't know what that means. Like,
but wait, she has some nasty scars on her shoulders in this movie.
Yeah, I think the scars that is makeup, I think, or maybe that is real.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw that on her when she got out of the shower or whatever.
Well,
she
that
had
says
that scar.
Yeah, it says all the minor cuts and bruises are real. I think that scar is part of that's a future installment thing. Like, that's explained later. I can't remember why, but like as she's going throughout the movie, the hero always gets scratched and cut and whatever. Like John McClane's his feet are bleeding and all that stuff in the Die Hard. But
yeah,
like the fact that they're all real, I'm confused. Like, is she falling down on set a lot? I don't understand. How is she getting hurt on set? That's what I'm confused about.
Yeah, I got it.
Also, it's somewhere in the trivia. I didn't read it, but it makes sense if you add it with this trivia. That Paul W.S. Anderson dressed up as a zombie during the sewer scene, because this trivia says during the shooting of the sewer scenes, Mila Jovovich right hooked Paul W.S. Anderson in the face, giving him a black eye. By the end, she hurt about 3 cast and crew members. So,
wow.
Oh, wow.
So don't piss off Mila Jovovich. She'll punch you in the face, even if you're the director.
She looks like she could do that.
Yeah.
She has.
Okay, time for this.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That's right. We're doing top 3. This is where, yeah, I always forget to kind of warn our guests that I have weird clips that I play.
Love it.
So, unfortunately, no one on Twitter has participated in our game as of this point. But in fairness, I did post it a little late.
Pretty late.
Yeah. So we're all a little late on this episode. We will do better, but that's okay. We still have the 3 of us. Sam, you tell us our top 3 category was virus movies, virus outbreak, virus, movies where the thing is supposed to be contained and doesn't get contained. So, Sam, take it away.
Well, technically, Jurassic Park, the thing is not contained and when it's supposed to be contained, but I won't go too far on that one.
I was thinking pretty I wonder if he could would the barbecue.
The dinosaurs would be a virus of the earth, right?
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
And now I'm thinking my number 3 is not a thing because I can't remember if it was a virus, but Bird Box.
Oh yes.
See, I saw that on that list too. That's not a virus. It's
not a virus now that I think about it, right? It's when they see the alien that they go.
But it's not even an alien. The movie explains it as a demon, right? Did you? I'm sorry, I talked over. Did you see Bird Box?
Yeah, it's either like a demon or an alien. I don't know specifically what it is. I really want them to make another one, to be honest with you.
I'll be real. Bird Box made me cry. It did. Yeah.
What?
Well, the boat scene, right?
The boat scene when
she's
she's like, one of you is gonna have to watch. Like she's
trying.
Because when as a parent, that scene is hard to watch. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right.
And then,
I'm gonna be honest too. Yeah, that got me too.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. And then finally she was like, nope, we're either gonna all survive or none of us are. So that part was rough. Sorry,
my number 2
spoiler for Bird Box.
Yeah, my number 2 is Contagion.
Okay. I've never seen
Gwyneth Paltrow bites it pretty early in that one, I believe.
Oh, good. Then I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you'll like that one. And my number 1 is probably still one of the scariest movies I've seen, and that is Outbreak.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman and
that movie scared me when I was small.
Yeah. And it still feels like it could be real. You know, nowadays when you see the Ebola, in Africa and all that sort of, it just feels it's too real. Same thing with Contagion. It's just too real.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about it after I suggested that we do this movie. I thought, is this going to be uncomfortable for people to listen to? I guess maybe I should give a little bit of a warning that we're going to talk about it. If it's triggering to you, I apologize. But we're 20 months into this. I think it's. I don't know. I think we're okay to talk about it, certainly. V, what you got?
Oh, well, I went the other way. I did all zombie movies.
Perfectly fine.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, zombie movies. I love it. So, because I love him, Brad Pitt in World War Z.
Sure.
I love that. It was good. 28 Days Later, that freaked me out when it came out. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, that's another movie, like in the, I think, early 2000s, I believe. I loved the soundtrack. That was really good. Some of the actors, growing up with them and stuff like that, they made other movies I liked. Night of the Living Dead, the original one, the best one. I still really, really love that movie. And one of the zombie movies that really scared me when I was younger, Pet Sematary. That was scary to me, because I was really young when I watched that. But having something that you love, you bury it, and it comes back to life. That was crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
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 It comes back as something else.
It's a good list. So I did a little bit of all the above, I guess. So my number 3 is I did kind of a cheat, but it's the new Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right?
And,
I didn't think of that.
And those are so good. Those are so good.
I still don't think I've seen the third one yet.
Oh, it's good.
Saw the first 2. Yeah.
That's the Woody Harrelson is the lead on that one. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
My number 2 is I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I know some people didn't. I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool and scary and whatever. And I know whatever. And then my number 1, I also did 28 Days Later, and that movie also kind of
that introduced us to fast zombies, if I remember right.
It did. It really did. It changed.
That's the fast zombies. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The one thing you could always count on zombies was that you could outrun them, but not in that movie.
Not in that
Holy
movie.
cow! Yeah.
You're dying.
Cool. I would have probably maybe done an honorable mention for Zombieland, but it's a funny movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's funny.
It's fun. I've not seen the second one, but I liked the first one. I liked the first one. I usually do this on my own. I actually have now put it in as a quick little segment in the show. Star Trek connection for the this show is Jason Isaacs, who was the narrator at the beginning. He's in the he's Malfoy Senior in the Harry Potter series, but he's in the new series of Star Trek. He's Captain Lorca. Anyway.
Cool.
Soundtrack grade. This is a note that I've had in my script for forever, and I just keep forgetting it, but I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. This soundtrack was terrible. I would give it a F for freaking loud. I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I thought it was bad. All right. Time for this.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
Speaking of undead, Daniel Radcliffe there talking. This is where we give this movie a score from 0 to 10. V, I totally forgot to tell you that this is the thing that we're going to do. So here's your warning. This is the thing we're going to do. We're going to give it a score from 0 to 10, and I will let you go first.
Oh, 0 to 10. I'm just like, honestly, a person that will never give a 0 just because I'm like that. But I'll give it a 5.
Okay. IMDb has this as a 6.7, by the way.
Holy cow. Okay.
Seems a little high, but...
Yeah, right?
Okay. Yeah. It's a little high. What do you got, Sam?
I'm going to go a little lower than that, at a 4.82 out of 10. 4.82.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy it. I'm hoping, like you mentioned, I might still give a chance to later movies, later Resident Evil movies, because I think there's ideas there that are worth exploring and might look good. I still enjoy, remembering the days playing this video game where if you played it at night, it would freak you out, right? So I think there's something there. It's just not in this one.
No, yeah. I don't really disagree all that much. I'm looking to see if the second one is streaming anywhere. Apocalypse. It's on Hulu, which I don't have.
Okay.
But we'll see. The third one's on Netflix, which is kind of cool. But we need to see the second one. But if it ever gets onto a place where we can watch it, I might put it on the list because I bet you if you can watch the second, I think you would like the second one. I do. I remember specifically it being a little bit more of the action, less of the horror, but it's just straight up like people just shooting zombies left and right, and there's a little bit more conspiracy theory or conspiracy from Umbrella being that the orange being peeled a little bit. I can't use metaphor very well, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like we're getting a little bit more information.
Yeah.
Maybe an onion is a better metaphor than an orange. I think an orange, you just peel it once and then you eat it. I'm going to give this movie I'm going to give it a 6 because I still kind of like some stuff and it's still kind of fun. And I don't know. It's not great and I don't know. I think it's fine. It's fine. If you like these types of movies, I say watch it. If you've got, if you already own it, great. If you want to fork over the $3 so you can watch it with us, more power to you. I'm sure Mila Jovovich, how do you pronounce her name? She'll appreciate the 5 cents that you donated to her cause. There we go. One last thing before I do kind of our end of show thing, and that is our quote game. We have a quote game. Now, I said this last week. If you participate in the quote game, we will mail you a sticker. What I didn't say was how you should participate. And maybe that explains why no one participated.
Nobody did it.
So you can either email us to cheapseatreviews@gmail.com or just send me a message on Twitter @cheapseatcast or Facebook. You can either Facebook Messenger me or you can Facebook Messenger the podcast on facebook.com/cheapseatreviews. And last week's quote, none of us knew, and I still don't think we know. This week, however, we all know this quote. Now, the quote is so damn long, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I bet you I can get about the first... I can get to the first sentence, and you guys will know it. Here it is. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and of the tyranny of evil men.
Tyranny.
It has the whole quote. At that point, everyone knows what it is. So
yes,
if you want to participate, I will mail you a sticker, a little Cheap Seat Review sticker that I'm showing the camera and only the two of you can see. But everyone else, it's a sticker of our logo. If you want a sticker, to put it somewhere on your laptop or on your water bottle.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the quote. Participate. That's our show, right? That's it. I have nothing more to say. Right? So I will say this. V, thank you so much for coming on. Please tell our listeners where they can find more of you and what your show is about. You have the floor.
Awesome. First, thanks for having me. It was so fun. You guys, if you want to listen to any paranormal stories or I do everything unexplained on my show, and it's all about firsthand experiences. So I really start by talking about my own life and what I've experienced till this day. So I bring on really great guests. I read listener stories as well that are very fantastic. And, it's about the human experience with the supernatural and the spirit world. So it's wonderful. If you're interested in it, you can check me out. It's called Life Paranormal with V. I'm on Twitter too. So my Twitter handle is @VLifeParanormal. And my website, of course, you can find all my other podcast platforms that I'm on. Just go to my website at www.lifeparanormalwithv.com. You'll find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, pretty much everywhere you get your podcasts. So yeah,
it's a very cool show. I've listened to a couple episodes. It's very.
Is it going to make me lose sleep though? I mean, that makes.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie.
The one that I listened to, I didn't think it was really all that scary, but I really enjoyed it because it was. I thought it was really very fascinating, and I said it. I think on the review I left, and whether you believe or not, I think is irrelevant. I think it's just a really interesting thing to hear other accounts of, and just to be a part of. So.
Well, I just pulled up the website here, and I see that you did episodes here on the Mothman. Yeah, and I'm actually staying in the town between West Virginia and Ohio where that happened. On the way for next summer, on our trip up north. So they've got a little museum there and everything. I was debating actually going to check it out. So I might take a listen.
Yes, you need to. You must, please.
Yeah, do a little video for us. That'd be cool. A little on location.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, thank you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And again, I'll put the links to all of your stuff in our show notes.
Sweet.
That's it. I would at this point tell you what we're doing next week. I honestly don't know. We're having a very special guest, and of course every guest is very special. They're all our own little special guests, but this is a special guest who I'll just tease and say also works in the industry, but unlike me, is successful and still works in the industry, and has recently worked on such projects as Loki. So
no, cool.
Yeah, so that's your tease. Is that's it? And but we don't know what movie we're watching next week, so sorry. With that all having been said, Go to our website, cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com, where you can find links to all our other stuff and old episodes, all 358 of our other episodes, and all of our old horror movies and whatnot. And like I said, already said all our other stuff, Facebook and Twitter, cheapseatreviews@gmail.com is our email address. That's it, I think.
Yep.
Usually I feel so rushed, but tonight we're really doing well on time. So I'll just simply say thank you guys so much for listening. And on behalf of V and Sam, this is Sean saying thank you so much for listening. And we will see you next week for To Be Determined.
This is Cheap Seat Reviews.